Okay, let's go eat outside. That's what I think I want to go do. You guys want to go eat outside? I'm gonna go eat outside. Dude, fucking these Constera videos are so stuck in my head. I'm so upset. It's all I think right now. It's like all of my thoughts the whole time. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. It's the whole thing in my head. Oh, man. Okay. Let's go to where there's a little more. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Boo-doo-doo. When she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. This house will say no home anytime she goes away. I feel like I look young here. I'm getting nice like forehead wrinkles though. Because I'm always glancing. That pumpkin is disintegrating, much like my career. It's actually it's an art installation. If the pumpkin doesn't come back to life, my channel too dies with it. And I know. Heaven and rain all day long, ain't no sunshine when she's gone. I like pumpkin. Sure. Best way to lose weight. Why weren't you making people in Camp Canute do more cardio, even just incline treadmill? We were. What do you mean? Camp Canute had a ton of cardio involved, like tons. We had post-workout cardio every day. And there was supposed to be morning cardio as well. I mean, I think Canute actually did too much cardio right out of the gate. Here's the thing, with any weight loss protocol, you want to titrate total effort. So reality being that your body is in a position where relatively marginal efforts are going to create pretty substantial change. So you want to start with the minimum effective dose in everything in your life, I think, to have sustainable effort. That means that when it comes to doing something like, let's say, endeavoring to lose weight, right? You begin with a manageable increase in total output rather than what you believe perfect life-changing protocol looks like, because life-changing protocol is something that exponentiates over time into life-changing protocol. It's a small effort that compounds. So when people are like, I want to change something, they tend to be really fed up with themselves and disgusted with their behaviors or what it is they see in themselves, which one, not a great place to start. I understand it's motivating, but you also have to realize that the body you have now is the body you'll have after 2 years of perfect effort. It's the same form, it's the same flesh. The more that you loathe and lament the physical form you inhabit, the less likely you are to have true sustained change, because you're operating from a place of contempt, not a place of self-love. Contempt is something that might leave the moment you start to see some kind of shift, And if the contempt leaves, then does the motivation go? Perhaps. You have to reframe the concept of physical change, and really treating your body in that capacity from, this is because I do not like what I am, to this is why I do like what I am. This is why I feel good. This is something that I am exacting in real time my capacity to evoke change in myself. I have agency over my life and how it is I feel in it. That is what this is about, man, And every time you do it, it's an act of self-love, because you're reminding yourself of your capacity to do just that, to improve your circumstances and the way it is you feel in your own in your flesh suit, So when it comes to how to go about losing weight, the reason why you don't start with like 60 minutes of fucking cardio is because you're gonna fucking hate it and you're gonna quit. That's why. This is a lot about making it doable. Don't start with this is the maximum output I can manage. Start with this is what it is I know I can do every day for the rest of my life if I have to, And start with something reasonable. Like for me, I would start with like 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day of like incline treadmill or something like that, or 5 minutes a day of walking around your neighborhood. Next week, try to add a couple more minutes, be like 7. I'm gonna extend my route a little bit. Do something to that extent and then keep elevating that effort. and you hold on to it, right? So like if I'm coaching a client and I implement cardio, what we're gonna do essentially is I'm gonna implement probably 10 minutes of like standard treadmill walking, or I'm gonna put them on a route, or I'm gonna tell them what is your preferred form of cardio, something that's low intensity, not running, something that's friendly on the joints, ride a bike, you can go for a little swim, anything to that extent, but let's get 5 minutes of like true mindful mobile activity. And then we hold it there until their body stops responding to it, and then we elevate to a new minimum effective dose, because that dose is no longer effective, correct? So your body's always going to develop a tolerance to its output. However, I think that we try to predict that tolerance by giving it its maximum dose. You know, you titrate to what it is your body can handle. So you start with something manageable, and then you gradually elevate that total output. As that level of output, the present level of output, begins to feel somewhat trivial, you know? Eventually you acclimate to it. Like, dude, there was a period of time where I was doing 60 minutes of cardio a day and not thinking about it, you know what I mean? Now I do maybe 15 or none at all, and the thought of doing 60 minutes of cardio seems like a prison, you know? But at the time, you know, you start with adding 15, you add another 5, doesn't feel too bad, add another 5, that's a little long, but it doesn't feel too bad. Eventually I get used to it, I watch an anime, something like that, and it just keeps going like that, you know? Your body just continues to acclimate to the new requisite output to evoke change. It's really not that bad, man. Change diet, get blender, and eat only blended shakes. That's probably a good way to gain weight. If you're doing that to lose weight, you're gonna hate yourself, man. You're gonna hate yourself. 30 minutes of dogging? Oh, of jogging. I thought that said 30 minutes of dogging. And I'm like, all right, just mad dogging people. You just go out there and just, ooh, you got that dog in 'em. Ooh. It's like, all right, man, for sure. I get ya. Hey, but now damn thing long, 'cause I know sunshine when she's gone. I wish I had some fuzzy socks on, man. That's my only regret right now. I don't have fuzzy socks. I do like this, though. This is kind of chill. One's in chat if you guys like this outdoor hang, or is the camera quality so shit you're like, stop it. Stop doing this. No cardio necessary means change diet, like drink shakes. Why? What do you mean drink shakes? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to start with cardio. I normally don't start with cardio and weight loss protocol. I normally start with new diet. So like generally purging a lot of unnecessary additives, preservatives, things that could just be causing like a great deal of general water weight to be retained. So, you know, you cut out your fast food, you cut out your preserved foods, your microwave food, shit like that. Microwave dinner is not really like cooked foods that you then microwave, but, you know, I'm talking like your Hot Pockets and shit. And typically people just shed water weight right out of the gate. You know, a lot of added sugars, things like that. And then gradually I typically take away mostly carbohydrates for a while. I try not to touch fats unless the fats are over 75 total. If your fats are over 75 grams total, then I have a problem with it. If not, no, we're good. Where are you currently at? I am at my home, hanging out. I eat Chick-fil-A every day, 3 grilled chicken sandwiches. Is that good? Not really, man. There are a ton of like added oils and like small like pro-inflammatory food additives and shit that they have in Chick-fil-A stuff. Like, are you having sauces and shit? Like, what's in the food? Like, this is all relevant, you know what I mean? However, in the abstract, if we're talking about, like, let's say I'm getting, like, what my previous diet was in comparison to that is, like, your better target metric. So, like, if previously you were eating nothing but, like, you know, like Wendy's Baconators for 3 meals a day, you're probably going to see a ton of change on 3 Chick-fil-A sandwiches a day. So then I'm like, fuck yeah, big spike, we won. You know what I mean? That's really what matters to me, is like, what's the total change like, you know? 90% cardiovascular cycling. I love it during winter weight and training, but light. Yeah, for sure, man. Stop eating sugars and breads. Why would you stop eating bread? I mean, like, if your body doesn't agree with gluten, yeah, that's one thing. You also don't have to stop eating sugar. I mean, like, it is like an inflammatory additive, and something that I think, generally speaking, isn't, like, great for the majority of people to be consuming, but it also has a performance benefit, you know? It's a very quickly digested and readily assimilated carbohydrate that can help propel new PRs in the gym. It's also something so consider it as like a performance-enhancing substance, more or less. It's a supplement more than it is like a dietary pillar, You don't want to be like basing your carbohydrate intake around sugar, man. Okay. Do we want any ideas on how to stop binging on sweets and unhealthy snacks? Whenever I diet, I can't help but crave them and then give in. Honestly, man, I create a great deal of secondary substitutes. So, like, a ton of what I do for my personal, like, navigation of those things is, like, I will look to, like, what I can do with, like, whey protein powder. Whey protein powder typically tastes pretty sweet. It's kind of true to form, even though there's going to be a little bit of artificial sweetener to it if your body tolerates them well. I mean, dude, you can create like full-bore cakes with protein powder, man. Fudge, ice cream. You can do a lot of stuff. Cheesecake. There's so many fun recipes out there that I personally love doing, especially back when I was really learning how to diet. Now it's all kind of automatic. But yeah, that's after really breaking that impulse. I used to have a bit of a sweet tooth. And so I'd make like protein ice cream every day. Which is just essentially almond milk, crushed ice, maybe some xanthan gum and protein powder. And you just blend that until it's like a froth, which was always really fun. It's more like a Frosty, ultimately, if anyone's been to Wendy's. But it is super good. And yeah, just doing things, adjacent to that. You can make like protein mug cakes pretty easily with like a little bit of like buckwheat flour or something like that. Some protein powder, egg whites, a little bit of like baking powder. You can do the same thing with like protein pancakes, man. I mean, like there's so much you can do to navigate that impulse without, let's say, succumbing to like full sugar substitutes or full sugar like foodstuffs all over again, you know? So utilizing artificial sweeteners, I actually think is a pretty useful thing for breaking that habit and getting yourself off the sweet tooth altogether over time. All right. So who here wants to go train back before I have to raid? Tell them about dry fruit? No.